Greetings, this is Father Michael with our Word of the Week. We continue in our Easter season, and this Sunday is a favorite, Good Shepherd Sunday, the image of Christ as the Good Shepherd. And perhaps the word that most, in a sense, distills this is that idea of the pastor. El buen pastor, the Good Shepherd, the one who, and we often use this term when talking about priestly vocation or ministerial vocation, we'd call that person a pastor or one who does pastoring. Well, the original pastor, the original shepherd is Christ himself. And of all the aspects of shepherding, there is one that is so needed today, and that is the aspect of shepherding in which the shepherd knows where there's food to be had, where the good grazing is. Think of that 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In verdant pastures, he leads me, right? Into those places where the sheep can be nourished. He refreshes our soul. He does what? He leads us through the dark valley for his namesake, even though there is what? There's danger, there's threat of wolf, and there's a danger of darkness. He leads through in the dark valley. I fear no evil. Why? The shepherd is there. So this idea then of the shepherd is guiding the flock, knowing the good green places for pasture and being able to either avoid or to navigate through the dark valleys is an essential characteristic of the Good Shepherd. In these days, I think our world is very, very divided around political lines, around technological sorts of issues that plague our day, around how we best educate or how best we form culture. And there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of best practices. And yet, there's not always a sense in which how faith can lead us, both into valleys where we can be nourished intellectually and in terms of our formation of virtue to be who God meant us to be, and how to avoid the pitfalls of placing our hope in anything less than God. It's a good time to remember that the next time you find yourself worked up by the political situation of the country or the financial situation or this or that kind of failing of society, to say, you know what? God is in control. Everything that we have here in this earth will come to pass. It will pass away, right? What have you that won't pass away at some point? And this is not to simply say we ought not to be involved in politics and financial matters, in being good stewards of what we've been given, right? But what it means is ultimately they don't have decisive meaning for us. Their meaning is relative. There is a non-relative, essential relationship we have with the Good Shepherd. He's the one that brings ourselves, people, families, communities, nations, the world to the ultimate place of nourishment. That is the place prepared for us that he promises in the Gospel of John. He is the one that can bring us to a sense of peace of mind, heart, society, and world through the forces of darkness and hatred and evil and war and destruction. It is God alone and the Good Shepherd who we need to attune our ear towards in order that he might lead us. In other words, if celebrating this Good Shepherd Sunday, we recognize that Jesus is our Good Shepherd and we need to follow him, what is the most important characteristic we need to have? What's the foundational virtue that allows him to be our shepherd, to be our Good Shepherd? We've got to hear his voice. The word obedience simply means to listen to. We need to have a sense of humility, but obedience to hear how God speaks to us. Speaks through the church. Speaks through those who have responsibility for care of our souls. We need to listen to the Lord speak in our hearts through prayer. We need to listen to the Lord as he speaks to us through the reception of the sacraments, especially the Eucharist and the healing of confession. We need to open our ears to let the Good Shepherd be our Good Shepherd, to allow us to lead us to places of nourishment and to help avoid those places of temptation and darkness. Today's Good Shepherd Sunday, but ask yourself this question: is he your good shepherd? What can you do this week that would open your ear to hear the Good Shepherd? How can you follow him with a sense of peace, a sense of challenge, but a sense of joy? Amen. Amen. If you're enjoying these videos, do like, comment, subscribe. Also go to our website. May the Lord indeed radiate in your life, and may we radiate the joy of the gospel here in the heart of the city.